In the shadows of Guatemala's lush rainforests, hidden beneath centuries of soil and vegetation, lie the secrets of one of humanity's most fascinating civilizations. And sometimes, these secrets reveal themselves in the most spectacular ways. A brilliant green face, expertly carved from precious jade, staring back at archaeologists after 1700 years in darkness. I'm talking about the extraordinary jade mask of Chochkitam, a discovery that's completely transforming our understanding of Maya royalty, religion, and political power. You're watching History Deciphered with Nathan Gale. Now let's get started. It was 2022 when archaeologists working in northeastern Guatemala made the kind of discovery most of them only dream about. While excavating a royal tomb at the site of Chochkitam, they uncovered an exquisitely crafted jade mask representing the Maya storm god, positioned directly over the face of a buried king. Now, this wasn't just any beautiful trinket. This was essentially a window into Maya civilization during the early classic period, around 350 to 400 CE, a time when Maya culture was reaching extraordinary heights of sophistication. The first time I saw images of this mask, I was absolutely floored by its craftsmanship. Just imagine the scene: archaeologists carefully removing layers of earth in this royal tomb, their brushes revealing the unmistakable green shimmer of jade, and then slowly uncovering this incredible face staring back at them. The prominent brow ridges, large expressive eyes, and that distinctive nose immediately identifying it as Chak, the storm god. The mask measures about 20 centimeters in height, and traces of cinnabar, a red mineral pigment, suggest it was once partially painted, making it even more visually striking. The level of detail is mind-blowing, especially when you consider the tools available to Maya artisans at the time. What's particularly fascinating about this discovery is the location. Chochkitam isn't one of the famous Maya sites like Tikal or Palenque that tourists flock to. It's a lesser-known center, but clearly one that wielded significant power and wealth. The tomb itself contained numerous other precious artifacts: ceramic vessels, obsidian blades, shell ornaments, and additional jade pieces, all pointing to the extraordinary status of whoever was buried there. The mask gives us incredible insight into Maya crafting techniques. When researchers examined it under microscopes, they found tool marks showing how specialized stone and wooden implements, along with abrasives like quartz sand, were used to shape and polish the jade. This wasn't a quick job. We're talking hundreds of hours of skilled labor by master artisans. Jade was more precious than gold to the Maya. It was incredibly difficult to work with using Stone Age tools, and the material itself had to be transported long distances from quarries in the Motagua Valley. For a ruler to commission such an extraordinary piece speaks volumes about their wealth, power, and the specialized knowledge at their court. But the true significance of this mask goes far beyond its beauty or the technical skill required to create it. To really understand what this artifact means, we need to dive into Maya cosmology and religious beliefs. For the Maya, Chak the storm god was absolutely central to their worldview. In a civilization completely dependent on seasonal rains for their maize agriculture, Chak controlled the element most essential to their survival. By wearing the storm god's face in death, this ruler was likely seeking identification with this powerful supernatural force, essentially becoming the deity in the afterlife. The placement of the mask directly on the deceased's face is particularly meaningful in Maya concepts of personhood. The Maya believed the face, and particularly the breath that emanated from it, was closely associated with one's soul or life force. In Maya art and writing, breath is often depicted as flowing from the mouth in elaborate scrolls, representing the vital essence of a person. By covering the face with this jade mask, the Maya were likely trying to preserve this essence and facilitate the ruler's transformation into an ancestral deity who could continue to intercede on behalf of his people. The timing of this burial may have been significant too. We know the Maya meticulously tracked celestial cycles and incorporated them into royal rituals. Analysis of hieroglyphic texts associated with the tomb suggests the burial may have been conducted during a period aligned with Venus's appearance as the morning star, a potent symbol in Maya warfare ideology. This cosmic timing would have added another layer of meaning to the ritual, connecting the deceased ruler to powerful celestial forces that govern the Maya universe. Looking beyond the religious aspects, this elaborate burial tells us a lot about the political landscape of the early classic period. The resources required to produce such a spectacular funeral would have been enormous, from the precious materials themselves to the labor needed to construct the tomb and create the offerings. This indicates a period of relative stability and prosperity at Chochkitam, allowing resources to be directed toward elite ritual displays, rather than, say, defensive structures or weapons. However, textual evidence from nearby sites suggests this was also an era of increasing competition between rival centers. The Maya political landscape wasn't a unified empire, but rather a complex patchwork of competing and sometimes allied city-states. Think ancient Greek city-states, but in the jungles of Central America. Military conflicts and shifting alliances characterize this political landscape, with powerful centers like Tikal and Calakmul jockeying for influence over smaller polities like Chochkitam. In this context, the mask and associated offerings likely played a crucial role in legitimizing the succession of the ruler's heir. By demonstrating the ability to mobilize valuable resources and specialize labor for this funeral, the new ruler would have affirmed their right to power through proper veneration of their predecessor. It's essentially a public demonstration of continuity and capability. Look, I can provide this spectacular send-off for my predecessor, so I'm clearly the legitimate heir with access to the same resources and divine favor. Hieroglyphic texts recovered from monuments at Chochkitam and surrounding sites indicate that during this period, political relationships were managed through diplomatic marriages, military alliances, and sometimes outright conflicts. The ruler buried with the Jade mask appears to have successfully navigated these complex relationships, potentially expanding Chochkitam's influence during his reign. The mask, then, isn't just a religious object, but a political statement, a demonstration of power, legitimacy, and divine connection that would have resonated throughout the region. The discovery has sparked some fascinating debates among scholars. While most researchers identify the mask as representing Chak, some iconographers have argued it may incorporate attributes of multiple deities, reflecting the fluid nature of Maya supernatural entities. Others suggest it might represent the deceased ruler himself in the guise of the storm god, a common practice in Maya royal imagery, where kings would depict themselves with divine attributes. The style of the mask has also generated discussion about potential foreign influences. Some features show similarities to imagery from Teotihuacan, the powerful central Mexican metropolis that had significant cultural and possibly political impact on Maya centers during this period. This connection feeds into ongoing debates about how much influence Teotihuacan exerted in the Maya region. Was it direct political control, a more subtle cultural exchange, or something in between? It's worth noting that for contemporary Maya communities, artifacts like this aren't just archaeological specimens. They're sacred objects connected to ancestral power. Following consultations with local Maya spiritual leaders, certain rituals were performed at the excavation site before and after the mask's removal. These ceremonies acknowledged the spiritual power believed to inhabit such objects and sought to maintain proper respect for ancestral forces. This collaborative approach represents a positive shift toward incorporating indigenous knowledge and perspectives into archaeological practice. Modern technology has played a crucial role in unlocking the secrets of the Chochkitam mask. Researchers have used three-dimensional scanning and photogrammetry to create detailed digital models, allowing scholars worldwide to study its features without handling the delicate original. These digital reconstructions have revealed previously unnoticed details, including faint incised designs, visible only under specific lighting conditions, Meanwhile, trace element analysis using X-ray fluorescence has confirmed the geological source of the jade, connecting the mask to specific quarrying locations and illuminating trade networks in the classic period. So what does this extraordinary artifact ultimately tell us about Maya civilization? First, it confirms the incredible sophistication of Maya craftsmanship, with artisans capable of transforming one of the hardest stones on Earth into a work of breathtaking beauty, using only Stone Age tools. Second, it demonstrates the complex interweaving of religion and politics in Maya society, where rulers drew their legitimacy from connections to divine forces and ancestral power. Third, it illustrates the resources commanded by Maya royalty and their ability to mobilize specialized labor for elaborate ritual displays. But perhaps most importantly, the jade mask of Chochkitam puts a face, literally, on the often abstract discussion of Maya civilization. When we look at this extraordinary green visage, we're not just seeing an artifact, we're making a connection across nearly 2 millennia to the people who created it. We can imagine the artisan meticulously polishing the stone, the priests preparing the royal body for burial, the heir watching as their predecessor was transformed into a deity through this sacred mask. These weren't just abstract historical processes, they were lived experiences by real people navigating their world through beliefs and practices that made sense to them. The jade mask continues to bridge past and present, offering a glimpse into the sophisticated world of classic Maya civilization, while resonating with contemporary questions about cultural identity, political power, and the human relationship with the divine. As investigations continue, this remarkable artifact will undoubtedly yield further insights into the complex civilization that created it. A civilization that, despite its eventual collapse, left behind some of the most extraordinary art, architecture, and intellectual achievements in human history. The storm god's face continues to speak to us across the centuries, if only we're willing to listen.